Hello, and welcome to the podcast talking about Project Charlie. My name is Laura Downing. I am the co-chair for Pride, and I'm very excited to introduce you to Charlie. Charlie is the inspiration for Project Charlie. And just to give you a high-level overview of what Project Charlie is really making sure that our systems, BMS, um, uh, allows for people to go by their chosen name. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that's important, what that's about, and how we went about doing it. So first, let me go ahead and introduce Charlie. Charlie, would you like to take a few minutes just to introduce yourself? And we can get started.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Charlie. I'm 25 years old. I'm originally from Germany. I started in TP in 2019. And basically, from the moment that I started, I decided that I would be out and proud and I would not accept anything, or I would not accept anyone not accepting me. And I don't want to hide who I am. So I introduced myself from starting in the company as a non-binary person, which is not something that most of the people around me ever heard. So that was a little bit difficult, especially in the beginning. And then in 2021, I became a supervisor. And during my training, I had the training as well with the new vice president of the DEI for TP Portugal here. And yeah, basically since then we've been working on getting Project Charlie started.
So, just for the broader audience, if you could talk at a really high level of what Project Charlie is, um, and I can relay it how what that means for the United States.
All right, so basically Project Charlie does allow you to have your chosen name in all BMS systems, in all teleperformance systems. Is it MyHR? Is it when you're logging in the morning into your PC, you have the name greeting you, hello, Charlie, welcome. You have, if you log into MyHR, if you want to book vacations, you will only see your chosen name in the system there. If it's a second name, if it's a nickname, or if it's a chosen name, it doesn't matter. If you want to be addressed by a specific name and you want the systems to reflect that, you can do that.
Awesome.
And basically, that's
And
what Project Charlie is for.
thank you. And just for the broader audience, for people that might not understand, why are pronouns so important in the workplace, and why is going by your chosen name so important in the workplace?
Okay, so it's not technically just in the workplace, of course, but the workplace
Yeah.
is the place where we spend most of our consecutive time awake and aware in one space. So it's a big, big part of our day-to-day lives. And if we can be who we are and we can be respected for our identity, especially during a majority of our day, it will greatly affect motivation, mental health. You don't like to work in a place that does not respect you or does not respect who you are. So using the right pronouns is a sign of respect and acceptance, because nobody really wants to spend 9 or more hours in a place that, yeah, doesn't accept you.
Yeah, it's really about being your authentic self and allowing others to participate in that, right? Like,
Exactly.
yeah. And sometimes you
And
can feel like you're hiding if you're going by your given pronouns.
exactly. And that requires a lot of energy,
Hmm.
energy that honestly, after a while, you just don't have.
Yeah.
So you risk a burnout, you risk a lot of mental health issues, a lot of physical health issues, because both of them are connected in one way. So, yes, hiding who you are just because you feel like you won't be accepted in your surroundings or because you don't know anyone around you who's out in the workplace, it can take a lot of stress. It can take a toll on your health. So basically, this will not only show people that they are accepted and respected by the company, but will also give more people the strength and the courage to come out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me a little bit more about how this came about. Like what was the catalyst? You know,
Mhm.
how did this all get kicked off?
Okay, so I mentioned before that I met Anna during my training to become a supervisor. And basically, at the end of the training, she approached me and asked if there's anything that can be done on a company level from the company side to make me feel more included, because she also didn't really hear much about non-binary or gender-neutral pronouns. So it was a genuine question from her, because it's just something that she's not that familiar with. So she wanted to know if there's something that she can do from her side. And well, my feedback was basically, yes, have the name and the system changed, please, because it affects you a lot. Like, you're logging in, you see your dad name, you're logging into the systems, you see your dad name, you're working 8 hours, 9 hours a day, you see your dad name constantly. It's just a reminder every day that, hey, cool, the company has a completely different picture of who you are than who you really are, and they don't really see you as that person. You're just a name, you're just a number in the system. But um yeah, now you can change that.
And just, I mean, I
Basically,
have
what
so much.
happened is so she asked, okay, but why does it have an effect? What is the effect that it has? Why would you need to change the name in the system? So I gave her some feedback, I gave her some summaries, I sent her some links to some articles as well that were written, and then everything else was basically more launched by her, like all the meetings, all the bureaucratic stuff. They had to get a funding, they had to get to the CEO to discuss it with them. So, it was all, let's talk to the chair. And that had nothing to do with me. I don't really know like all the small details on how it really came about. I just know that this was the inspiration behind it. This was basically the sentence that started it all. Like, can I
Yeah,
curse
no,
here?
absolutely. So tell me, I mean, it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that, especially when you're relatively new, you're going through training, you just got a promotion. You know, how scary was it to talk to your leadership with such a large organization? Um, and it sounds like there was a good immediate response, but did they ease your mind quickly? Was it, I mean, how just tell me about your process and how what you were feeling when you did that, because
Mhm.
I don't know if I would have enough courage to do that. So just want to understand that.
Okay, so immediately it wasn't really scary. I was just like, okay, there's someone that actually wants to have my input. I don't know why, because I'm a pretty small person in this project, in this company. But yeah, sure, I give you my feedback anytime you want. Like, ask me and I will provide. So it was just kind of exciting to see that someone actually listened to that and was like, okay, hey, cool, we're going to take that and we're going to take that up. So it wasn't really afraid, but more like, okay, someone's listening, someone's actually taking that feedback. Um, so felt really appreciated. Uh, and then a little bit nervous as well when I realized, okay, this means that there's something that could actually, affect the entirety of the company. At this point, we were just talking about TP Portugal, Okay,
Yeah.
this is
So
getting a bit scary. It's getting a lot. It's getting a lot. But overall, I've heard so many people afterwards. Hey, I changed my name. This is so amazing. So I had so much feedback. So many people that
that's
were happy about the name change.
that's awesome. And so, you know, as you see your voice making a global impact in this policy change, you know, how does that feel?
It feels amazing. To be honest, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. So we're working for a company that's rather big. Like, it's an international company, right? So many brands. And to think that my little voice can affect so many people, what else could we do? What other changes can we bring if we find the right people that are listening?
Yeah, absolutely. And it shows that TP really cares about everybody. It's not just a whole, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, and
for sure.
it feels really good. What would you say are the biggest learnings that you and the Portugal team took away from the implementation of Project Charlie in your geo?
Well, I'm like, I can only talk for myself. As I
Yeah.
mentioned, the real people behind Project Charlie are the DEI itself. So I wasn't really in any of the meetings. I got some feedbacks when a meeting happened, like, hey, we're going to bring that to this and this person next. Um, so I cannot really talk for the Portugal team overall. Um, but basically, yes, what I did learn and what I took away is that there's a lot more queer people working here than I ever could have dreamed to imagine. That life can get better if you stand up for yourself, and that
Hmm.
change is possible when we believe in that change, and we have the people that can back us up.
That's awesome. I love that. And what would just as a closing question, and then
Hmm.
I'll stop interrogating you. But what would be your key takeaway from this experience?
All right. Be who you are, be proud of who you
Hmm.
are, and keep challenging outdated beliefs to change the world around you. It's possible to change, it's possible to grow. Don't hide your identity just because some people will not understand it. Because in the end, you need to feel comfortable, and you need to like who you are.
That's awesome. And I just have to tell you, and just in closing, I think that you're an incredible person, incredibly brave, excuse me, and incredibly, you know, if I were in your shoes, I don't know if I would have had the courage to do what you did. So, and it takes a lot of courage to say, hey, no, that's not me. This is me. So I just want to tell you that I'm honored to meet you. I'm honored to be talking to you today. Thank you for all your hard work on this. And the US is very grateful to you because we're launching Project Charlie this month. And
Hmm.
so in BMS. And so it's very exciting for us on in the stateside. So thank you again. And if anything comes up, please reach out. But again, very honored to meet you, and we will talk soon.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's lovely talking to you, and I hope to see you again for sure.
Thanks.